I've always been like obsessed with tattoos. Like I've always loved tattoos, you know. And when I finally decided, you know what, I'm in that space where I finally want to get a tattoo. You know, I was ready. I designed the tattoo I wanted. Like I did a lot of research because I'm like, I'm not just going to be one of those people that goes and gets like a SpongeBob tattoo or something, or you write some like to some shit, you know. So I'm like, yeah, I have to put in a lot of thought, and this tattoo has to be like significant, like for my first tattoo. I went and I did a ton of research on like symbols, on sacred geometry and stuff like that. I was able to like put together the perfect tattoo. I was so excited. Like, and then I got a tattoo artist. Like, he was supposed to be like the best in the country or something like that. Anyway, I got, you know, the pricing, I got an appointment, and I paid a deposit. That was like 70%. I paid 70% of the amount, you know. It was kind of pricey, but I'm like, you know, the best. I'm looking for the best. On the day of my appointment, like something just came up and I was not able to meet up with the appointment. I called to reschedule, like, oh, look, I can't meet up with this appointment. And he was just being very, very nasty, talking about how no, you cannot reschedule. It's my time, it's my this, it's my that. And for some reason, I wasn't even upset. I was like, fine, can I get my money back? And he's like, no, you've paid, blah, blah. I'm like, fine, no problem. If you sound like you need the money anyway, keep it. Like, I wasn't even bothered. It's so funny how I was willing already, like, to let that money go. I didn't mind. Like, everything was just so smooth. You know, this was like a couple of years ago. I was still like new on my journey, and I was still, you know, in my happy phase, in my c'est la vie. Like I was still in that zen state, you know, of anything that comes, anything that goes, you know. I miss that state. Oh my goodness, that's like one of the most beautiful states to be in. That phase was beautiful. And now I'm still in that phase, but now it's like it's not a constant. It's like it comes and goes, you know, and then other phases come. But then I was constantly in that whole zen, like, oh, like the universe is my friend. I am a manifestor. Like I won't, like nothing can bug me. Like man, that was some beautiful ass phase. Anyway, I digress. So I just, you know, allowed it and all that, and you know, and then I remember like days, like I think weeks later, I just had this like epiphany, like this download. Because I was thinking like, yeah, maybe I'll get the tattoo another time. And when I'm going to get it, I'm not even going to get it this country. I'm going to like, when I travel, I'm going to like get like those people that are on that reality show, Inked People. Yeah, I was like, yeah, I'm going to do with those Inked People, you know. So I was still going to get my tattoo, but now it was more like, okay, just postponed. Weeks later, I had this epiphany, and you know, I just like woke up with this realization, like, fuck, I have so many tattoos on my body. Like, what the fuck am I going to get a tattoo for? And when that thought came to my head, I'm like, wait, but I don't have tattoos. I'm like, oh, snap. Man, you see my scars? I have like scars on my body. And I tell you, like, each of my scars, they're not scars to me, they're stories. These are my tattoos. Now, it's one thing to go and get an intentional tattoo, yeah, and be like, oh, yeah, draw this thing on my body. But these are like my natural tattoo. Some of them I even follow come, like they follow me from my mama Bele, you know, like, and I mean, y'all call them birthmarks, but like they're tattoos to me now. There's all these scars that I call tattoos now, you know. They are like, they have stories. They came at different points in my life, different phases, and the stories that they come with are beautiful. Like, this is my biggest and longest tattoo, And I remember, when I was healing, because I had this when I was like 13 or 12. I remember when I was like healing, when I went to the hospital for checkup one of those times, and the doctor was like, oh, he can do a skin graft and cover the scar. And, even as young as I was like, no, I don't want that. Like, I love my scar. Like, dude, this is some badass scar right here. Like, this shit is badass. The baddest ass scar in the world. I'm like, nah, I like my scar. I want it. And then the scar didn't even look this nice. It was still like fresh and stuff. Like, look at now. After that whole tattoo incident, I started to appreciate all the marks on my body. Like, I remember when I was younger, I was always like conscious about like scars on my legs, especially because I was a tomboy. I was very playful. Nah, man, I played. Like, I still play now, but I played. I played. I used to play rough. Like, see, man. I played rough a lot. I was very sporty. There was always that tendency to have scars. I rode bicycles growing up, and doing all this like daredevil shit. Man, I still do those shit, but so I remember, when I got to university, then I now became girly, because in secondary school I was a tomboy, and then university I became girly and stuff. So I was now like ashamed of my scars. When in secondary school, I remember, when you had like girls, because we wear skirts, and everybody's like, oh, fresh legs. And, all the boys go like, oh, see that fresh leg, see that girl's fresh leg. And me, I was always hanging with the boys. So it never bugged me because, I was one of the boys. Yeah. So it was programming my brain to be like, oh, yeah, you have to have nice legs. So by the time I was in university, I was very conscious about the scars on my leg. Again, play, too much play. Get us, go wound. Yeah. There's no way you not enjoy. I was very conscious of any spot on my body. After a while, I started becoming this very careful person. I didn't want any scar on my skin, any small wound. I'll start panicking. Oh, I don't want this to turn into scars. I started buying like creams that take away scars from your body, like remove this scar, all those kind of things. I started like indulging in all those like girly things that, just so that you have the perfect skin. I was in that phase for a couple of years, But then, when all those rubbles cleared from my eye, when I finally woke up to myself, to my authenticity, man, like my concept, my mindset totally revamped, Those scars became like beauty marks, And the funny thing is, I know the story of every scar on my body. I just fell in love with them. So when I had that epiphany of the whole tattoo thing, I was like, oh my goodness. It just even made me love my scars more. I started biking back, mountain biking. And I remember the first time I fell because, like, if you're riding bicycle, you must fall. Like, it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen even if it's once. I remember the first time I fell, I was like, oh shit. Like, I got a scar here. I got a scar here. I got two on my knee. I got one on my thigh. Yeah. And I got two on my feet. Yeah. And I used to be obsessed with my feet, I never used to expose them. I would always wear socks because I was so obsessed. So that was the most painful, the one on my feet. For like a couple of days, for like 2 or 3 days, I was just moody, like, shit, I have scars, no. And then I now got back into that epiphany phase. I had this epiphany phase years ago, and then this new scars came in this year, and I'm like, oh shit, not new scars, because yes, look at me, I'm loving the scars I already have, but now I have these new scars. And then I'm like, oh shit, tattoo, yeah. And then everything just changed. Like, I'm like, what the hell was I bugging? After that, I still fell a couple of times. Yes, I cycle very rough, look, see. And I have accepted my body as art. My body is a canvas, and these are all the art. So the next time I fell, I got a new scam. Like, hey, we don't add Marco, new tattoo. Like, guy. I even have on my palm. I have like on my palm, from cycling when I fell. So I'm like, guy, we've added new tattoo. So, after that, like any new scar that comes now, it doesn't bug me. It doesn't phase me. It's like new tattoo because, hey, my body is a canvas. Come and paint. And I don't have to go and get inked. I don't have to go. I mean, I love tattoos. I love seeing tattoos on people. But personally, I have my own natural tattoos. I don't have to design something. It's like the universe just decides this is how this wound is going to be. Oh, yeah, fall down. Bam. Tattoo. So it's just like that's the perspective. Yeah, it's all perspective here, but this like new perspective with my scars is just so amazing. And now I don't even mind showing them. And when people are like, I see wound all over your body, bitch, it's a tattoo, it's not wound. Stop it. The wound don't heal. No, it's not my tattoo. So please, y'all better leave my tattoos. It's like when like a Picasso or like a Monet or like Leonardo da Vinci or like a Salvador Dali. Like, I love Dali, by the way. It's like when they paint you. You see how their painting is not perfect, but it's perfect. Yeah. You see how even like Salvador Dali, like I love him, like he's like surrealism and then the abstractness of his art. So when I saw this car, like that's how I started to see it, like a Picasso, with all his Ben painting. Perfect. I just see my body as a canvas. And while I don't deliberately go out looking for scars, like I still appreciate it when I have those scars. Like I don't like the pain that comes with them. I don't like all that pain. Because when I had this one, for instance, I couldn't use my hands for like a week or so. Like it was so freaking painful. I'm so glad that I have like natural tattoos. And I don't have any plans of getting like inked anymore. But if it ever comes to me and there's a need for it, yeah, maybe the alien overlords come and they're marking everybody and say, oh, see, this is your chip. You have to have tattoo chip. Yeah. All those 66. Dude, bye.